On Thanksgiving Day, I want to do a special webcast. Currently, Thanksgiving is more a social event. Even if you go to the history of Thanksgiving, it is more a social event and partly thanking the divine. Thanking the divine is a very important concept. This can entirely change your life. You have to thank God. People ask, why do I have to thank God? Is God dependent on my thanks? So people ask this question, and then it makes sense also. Why would God want your thanks? He is not dependent on the human beings. So this is the argument that most people have, and then it to some extent makes sense. But then it is a very superficial question to ask, why would God want your thanks, the human being's thanks? He does. If we go to the Bhagavad Gita, for instance, God is dependent on the human beings as much as the human beings are dependent on God. This is a great concept. When the world was created, this is in the third book of the Bhagavad Gita, it was set up that way that human beings give their offerings to God, and in return, God returns manifold of all the offerings that have been given to God. Parasparam is the word that is used in the Bhagavad Gita. Parasparam means mutual. You do this for me, and I will do this for you. This doesn't really make sense, but then it will make sense provided you understand the concept of love. And prior to understanding the concept of love, which sustains this world, you have to understand faith. The problem for people everywhere is faith. It is not natural to us. Faith is not natural to us. Especially faith in God began to decline with science and technology, because we are more into the rational mind, and the rational mind challenges faith. But then again, people don't even understand what is faith. My definition of faith, for those people who have been following me know, but that my definition of faith is utter positivity. You don't have to bring in God here. It is just utter positivity. You don't believe in any negativity at all. So how can you develop faith? How can you develop love? These are spiritual secrets. And if you have faith, like Jesus said, you can move mountains. But the problem is, how can I have faith? There is a mantra for faith, and this is the contribution of the Indian tradition, because a God himself incarnated on the earth plane to promote faith. Faith is a state of mind. It can be cultivated, and this state of mind will take you to the non-mind, to the unconscious. There you will be able to have faith in a natural way. This mantra has the ability to do that. So, in the webcast, upcoming webcast on the Thanksgiving Day, I'm going to teach that mantra, and I will also talk about other mantras that will promote faith. And also, that faith will lead you to love. Loving God is everything. Even Jesus said, when people asked Jesus, what can I do for you, Jesus? Love the one whom God had sent to you. Why would Jesus want love from you? Again, this question doesn't make sense. So we will explore all these things in the webcast along with a meditation to develop faith in the first place and love in the secondarily. I look forward to your participation in the webcast. God bless.